Hi, folks. Welcome to the Curtis Goes Corner. No BS here, just straight commentary. Please like and subscribe. And as always, thank you for your support. Hi, folks. Welcome back to Curtis Goes Corner. From the Washington Examiner. Top pollster. Trump's agenda more popular than ever. Well, because the agenda that he's been carrying is extremely popular. Look at 60, 70%. The problem is, though, they don't like his personality. They think he's a big mouth. They think he's arrogant. They think he tweets too much. Well, get over it. Get over it. It's the policy that matters. It's not what people say. It's what people do. Who's against more employment for people? Who's against being energy independent? Who's against lower taxes? Who's against any of those things that he pushed for? Who's against keeping our borders safe? Who's against that? Besides the 15, 20% total nut bars. Of course it's a popular agenda. Let's read on. When the crowd at Sunday's Conservative Political Action Conference, known as CPAC, cheered after former President Trump asked, "Do you miss me?" they weren't the only ones. According to pollster Jim McLaughlin, with every move congressional Democrats and President Biden take to dismantle the former president's legacy, Trump becomes more popular. Yeah. Who wants open borders? Who wants their immigration facilities overrun? Who wants to let in criminal aliens? Who wants any of that? Absent Trump's sometimes annoying and rude tweets and weeks away from the January 6th Capitol protest and his resulting impeachment, many are again looking at his agenda and what he did as president and giving a thumbs up, said McLaughlin, who conducted the McLaughlin Associates CPAC preference poll. Democrats, mainstream media, big tech, and the Washington establishment on both sides of the aisle are trying to cancel President Trump and his supporters. And the poll shows they won't be silenced and they won't be canceled. If anything, President Trump and his agenda are more popular than ever, he told Secrets. That's right. That's right. Would he talk sometimes? He was pretty good at CPAC, I have to give him. He's fairly low-key. He kept to the script. Unfortunately, people liked Donald Trump because he wasn't scripted, and he talked off the cuff, and that was one of his big advantages he had over regular politicians. The fact of the matter is, though, it's a double-edged sword. I think he learned his lesson. I think he learned that saying things sometimes that just aren't, not that they're tough and not because they're maybe people don't want to hear it, but sometimes I call Trump the girlfriend and wife in the dress. And what I mean by that is, say you're sitting there in the living room, fooling around on the internet or watching TV, and your wife or your girlfriend stands in the doorway and says, "Hey, does this dress make me look fat?" Well, we'll say that it does. You're not going to say that. You love the woman. Plus, you got to live with her. You don't want to have to hear her. So you make up some other excuse saying the color of the dress is wrong. I don't like the cut or whatever. You make up some BS excuse. Trump would go, "Hell yeah, makes you look fat. Take it off." Well, the odd part is he's telling the truth and you're lying, but there's ways to do things. And I think he's learning that. I think he really is. Others with long Washington history, such as Americans for Tax Reform President Grover Norquist, have said that Biden's effort to build an early reputation off of reversing Trump's successes is setting him up for a midterm election drubbing. Yeah, I said the same thing. Right now, I believe there's a 9-seat difference in the House of Representatives. And, of course, we all know that the Senate's 50-50. Now, I don't like to see any huge gains in the midterms coming up in 2022, but I think there's going to be a bloodbath for the Democrats in the House. Newt Gingrich, remember years ago, after 40-plus years of Democrat control of the Congress, the House of Representatives, Newt Gingrich was Plan for America, or Contract with America, I believe it was called, just wiped out the Democrats. And this is going to happen this time. I think they're going to have huge majorities. They're going to have 20-plus seats. I see this coming. I think it's going to be that bad for the Democrats, and they know it too. That's why they're so angry. They see this coming. Certainly among the Trump base, that's true, said McLaughlin, and sharing a deep dive into his polling. The more they attack his issue agenda and his people, the stronger President Trump gets. Yeah. And that's, I remember the CPAC there where he says, do you miss me yet? McLaughlin pulled these findings from his CPAC poll to make his point. Now, I got to remember, the numbers are skewed, of course, because they're all Trump supporters. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying if you're trying to get an accurate poll. But let's look at some of these numbers. They're incredibly high. 97% want Congress to do more to fight for their conservative agenda. 93% of their voter fraud that helped Biden win. Biden doesn't have the mental capacity to be president, 93%. 96% of the Washington establishment thinks they are better than ordinary people. 99% said we need to get children back to school and open the economy. 63% they're angry or disappointed with the Republican National Committee. I'm not disappointed with the RNC. I mean, they try to stay as neutral as they can in an imperfect world. His stuff worked. His issue agenda was a success, said the pollster. And the GOP's base hasn't softened on their distrust of Washington, dubbed the swamp by Trump. They hate Washington, the establishment, and the elites. Who would have thought 15 years ago, and I was talking to a friend of mine, Steve, on the phone earlier, which, by the way, he got me a lot of new subscribers. Thank you very much. That 15 years ago, the two people that would be pushing to save the Constitution of the Republic and would have the most impact on doing that would be Tucker Carlson, some baby-faced guy with a bow tie, and Donald Trump. If I'd have said that 15 years ago, you would think I was nuts. So you never know who's going to come up and take over the country and set it right again. You never know. They hate Washington, the establishment, the elites. He fights them in a way no one else can. No one connected better with the middle America than the New York billionaire, and that's all him. Yeah. He also said the former president is the GOP for now. President Trump has changed the GOP for the better. He has transformed us from the party of corporate elites to the party of forgotten men and women. That's why he significantly raised GOP numbers with blacks, Hispanics, Catholics, blue-collar workers, said McLaughlin. The truth is, the Republican Party needs President Trump right now a lot more than he needs them. That's exactly right. So you saw the reversal from Mitch McConnell that said he was guilty of insurrection, but I didn't vote to convict because he wasn't president anymore. And then he immediately said, whoa, wait a minute. He got a lot of crap from people, all the Republicans that he just got elected for, that Trump helped him out get reelected. They're going to come around. Now, they might come around kicking and screaming. They might come around begrudgingly. But you always get the asshats like Mitt Romney. You'll get that small percent that won't. But they're coming around. The policies work. The policies work. In 2017, 18, and 19, we saw huge economic gains. And that had nothing to do with the Obama administration legacy and policies that were put in place. You might not like his style, but his substance is top-notch. I'm not sure if Donald Trump's going to run again. I pray that he does. He is getting a little bit older. But we're going to have to see. But he's going to be instrumental in getting the House of Representatives to flip over, and to a certain extent the U.S. Senate as well. And I look forward to that. There needs to be a firewall to stop these lunatic progressives and leftists. And that's the way the founders set it up. Checks and balances so you don't go too far one way. We'll see if that firewall holds that the founders put in. And until next time, folks, goodbye, good luck.